Becky's New Car. Is it a comedy or a drama? And the answer is yes, it is both. It's one of these very unusual plays that has a message that's serious. It's treated with tons of comedy. It also is what we call in the biz an absurdist play, because there's just a lot of things that don't necessarily make sense out of the context of the play, but they're delightful within the context of the play. In a nutshell, Becky is a lovely, middle-class, middle-aged woman who is married. She has a lovely 26-year-old son who lives in her basement as he's trying to finish his degree in college. And she's a car salesman. And she knows that her life is fine, but not terribly exciting. And so she's contemplating this. And I think a lot of us, have been there at various times in our life. As luck would have it, she meets a gentleman who's recently widowed, who's older than her, who's very wealthy, who's very charming, and takes a great interest in her. Through a series of misunderstandings, he believes that Becky also has recently lost her husband. And Becky, through her basically inaction, just allows him to think this and starts out having a relationship with him. Now, what's interesting is that you immediately think, ooh, Becky, adulteress, you're horrible. But what's so brilliant about this play is it makes you constantly change your mind about her. And this again, it's an inaction. She never takes action. So she finds herself in more and more of a predicament until finally these worlds collide, and she makes some really unusual and interesting choices to deal with this enormous, life-changing conflict. It is a play that calls on audience participation. Fine, you'll want first row then. It's not so much drag you up on stage and make you do embarrassing things, but the audience sometimes has a voice in helping Becky make her decisions about these things going on in her life. It is a very delightful play. It constantly delighted me. It constantly surprised me and made me laugh, but also made me really think. So I think it's a provocative play, and even though you haven't heard of it, it is worth hearing about.